Hey, Zips fans, Chad Welker here for the Zips Digital Network with head coach Tom Hanna. And coach wrapped up camp last week. You had an exhibition contest against Cleveland State last week. Just give me a brief overview on what you saw, what you liked, what you think you need to work on going into opening week, as it is game week.
All of the above. There's things we like that we still need to work on, things that we need to work on that we weren't crazy about. I thought our resiliency was pretty good as the day went on. We were able to battle back later in the match. I thought we could have had a stronger start. Would have liked to seen a little bit more consistency probably early on in our serve receive, but again, as the match went on, we stabilized a little bit and were able to side out better. So it was just great to see somebody else, have somebody present different problems to us that we haven't seen day to day and get us a little uncomfortable, which I think we could do a better job of handling.
One of the big things that also happened last week is you named your three captains, senior Ashley Richardson and juniors Taylor Sheretz and Emily Wigan. Just talked about the reasons behind picking those three ladies to be captains this year and what they're going to bring to the table as leaders out on the court.
Sure. Well, it's a couple of factors. The group does get to vote and choose a leader. We make sure we have input as coaches because the needs of us as coaching staff and the needs of the group are different. And quite honestly, the biggest thing was the three that were selected kind of vaulted to the top. We were beyond comfortable with all three of them. What they would bring in fulfilling the role of a captain as a coach's needs. But they were clearly, went right to the top of the ballot, so to speak, from their peers. So we felt like, hey, there's good representation from the group, that everybody that is going to feel like, hey, there's somebody here I can confide in. There's somebody that represents my interests. There's somebody here who I think can help me. There's somebody here that I think can help lead this group. So I think we have a really quality group, and that was exciting to just see the way the vote kind of shook out, and that, as kids that we would have been clearly looking at for our choice. And normally we say you get one, we get one. When you have three, that means we have a lot of good things going on.
Now we get to move into game week. You head down to Florida for a tournament down in the Panhandle State. You got San Diego State on Friday and a couple other opponents on Saturday. What do we know about the opponents that we're going to face this upcoming weekend?
Sure. I mean, we're going to jump right into the pool head first, and San Diego State's going to be a solid team. I know they've lost a little bit in terms of a transfer and graduation, but certainly be a solid team. They have some physicality. Florida Gulf Coast was a top 50 team last year. I suspect will be a top 50 team this year. They got knocked out in the round of 32 last year to Florida. Won their conference. I suspect they might be picked to win it again. I'm not 100% sure, but have a solid core of returning kids. And then Bryant, won their conference, went to the NCAA tournament last year as well. I think they've lost a little bit more to graduation than the others, but we're going to go in again, two NCAA tournament teams and solid San Diego State team. So it's going to be, right to like I said, right into the deep end of the pool.
And you have a lot of student athletes with experience from last year, so we're definitely looking forward to seeing what you can do down in Florida. For the Zips Digital Network, you can always follow the Akron Zips volleyball team by following them on Facebook at ZipsVB, or follow their Twitter, ZipsVB, or they also have an Instagram account that you can follow as well. I know they've been doing some Takeover Tuesdays with that as well, so make sure you follow that. And, of course, we want to see you come out at the Akron tournament, which will be in 2 weeks when the Zips take on St. Francis on that Friday night. For the Zips Digital Network, have a great week, and as always, go Zips.